you for watching News Echoes. Today we'll be talking about world affairs, and I'm so glad you're watching. My name is Shegun Johnson. We're going to talk about Russia bombarding Ukraine and stopping the grain market all over the world from Ukraine. And it's going to be a very interesting day today. Let me respectfully introduce my colleagues in faraway Toronto, Canada. We have Sir George. Sir George, you're welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dr. Johnson, and good morning, viewers from around the world. Welcome to
the lady in our midst, Bidi Nana, from the commercial city of Nigeria, Lagos. You're welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dr. Shegu. Thanks for having me once again. Viewers around the world, thanks for joining us again today. Let's do it like always.
From Moscow is our man, Dr. Ibe. Dr. Ibe, you're welcome to the program. Dr. Ibe.
I think he's muted.
Well, Dr.
He's muted,
Ibe.
Dr. Ibe.
Okay. In the meantime, while we're trying to sort him out, I'm glad to see you and have you, Mark.
Hello.
You're welcome to the program.
Hello.
Yes, Dr. Ibe is alive and well now. You're welcome.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, viewers, for tuning in. Hello, my dear panelists. Let's do it again.
Yes, Massive Mark in Milan. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Dr. Shegun. It's good to see everybody. The Africans are known to be resilient people. We pull through situations, weather conditions, life, obstacles, and I'm happy you guys are pulling through. It's good to see you all.
Are you still in sauna or you're in the steam room? When are you going to leave?
It's burning, Dr. Shegun. Western Europe is doing 48 centigrade. That is way far above normal heat. We're slamming real hot. People are melting.
So
but you see, nature has a way of making things don't go too extreme. Right now out there it's raining. Oh, it's raining, okay. Even though it rains and it gets hot all over again. So, but at least the rain will cool a little. Then maybe the weekend will be burning. But we are happy. It's God's weather, and all of this makes up life. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Please keep safe. I was just about to say you don't have to spend money in spa anymore. You know, don't spend money in steam room, sauna. Now you have the water, you have the water, you have the heat. Well, let's go to where Nigeria was supposed to trounce Canada at the ongoing Women's World Cup. But yesterday they played 0-0. Sir George, I'm not happy that we couldn't give Canada 4-0. What do you say?
You know, my presence in Canada enhances a lot of things.
Oh, my God.
So,
I just
you've been playing, Nigeria has been playing soccer for many, many years. And we're supposed to be the little kid on the block. But right now we're taking over because of my presence.
I hope
I concur.
Is listening
I
to
concur.
I hope your Prime Minister is listening to you. Bidi, why couldn't we beat Canada, for God's sake? I mean, they used to be our... Go on, Bidi.
I'm actually surprised because our girls played very well. I am telling you, if you watch that match, you'll give those girls thumbs up. They really played well. But for not scoring, I don't know, but they did well. I'm proud of them.
Mark, you love football.
But we had a red card also. Remember that? Our Deborah Ajibola.
Yeah, but it doesn't stop what they input. They input a great job there.
Dr. Ibe, so do we just encourage these girls as we go to the next topic?
Yeah, well, safe penalty, decided the fate, but it was a great game.
Yes, I heard about that.
A safe penalty, So let's Yeah, it's a tough one to swallow, but a bitter pill to swallow. But I think we can accept the result the way it is.
Canada wanted to win the day with a penalty, but our girls were good. Okay, let's just leave that one. Like they say in Nigeria, leave that matter for Matthias.
Let that matter.
Let that matter. Dr. Ebe, we really want your input at this moment. We want to know what's going on. Firstly, Russia is increasing its attack on Ukraine and not allowing Ukraine to survive by not allowing for the grains to get out of Ukraine. Just enlighten us before we have our input.
Okay. Yeah. First of all, for our viewers, the headline is not very balanced, but I will try to balance it. Yeah. So it's not Russia threatening only Ukraine ships, but Ukraine also threatened Russian ships. So they both threatened each other, and they both said that both of their civilian ships will be considered as carrying military cargo. So with all the relevant risks. So they both threatened each other. It's not one side threatening the other. Now, what led to Russia making this veiled threat from the Russian side? Is because, as you understand, the grain deal, Russia had some requirements to be met in the grain deal, and that was the sale of Russian food and fertilizers. And Russia has been saying for quite a while, not just now, that that part of the deal has not been met. So Russia has not been happy with the way the deal has been going. Now, to make matters worse, obviously, Ukraine attacked the Crimean Bridge, which obviously doesn't have a significant military purpose the result of the attack, because it didn't affect the rail lines and possibility of logistics on a military point of view, but definitely affected civilian life and civilian transportation across the Crimean Bridge. So those two situations has made Russia to take this stance that they're pulling out of the grain deal. And then the resulting effect, of course, is the increase in global food prices. One thing you should know is that the threat from Ukraine isn't as strong as a threat from Russia in terms of the capability of attacking the ports. But the more relevant, the more implication about the threat in terms of affecting the finance of each other is the insurance companies. So when both countries say they consider civilian ship as carrying military cargo, no insurance company will want to work with that ship. So you're automatically increasing the cost of transportation. So that's why those statements have financial value or cost implication on both sides. Now, of course, it will affect the global grain prices, both on the fact that it reduces the supply choices and the cost of insurance and transportation. So these are the major implications of that. And of course, the way out is to try to strike a deal and to respect every other person's position on the deal. So that's
so.
it.
So can I come in, Dr. Shagun?
Yeah, please.
You see why this issue is very serious. Why the news outlets are saying it loud is because Russia had they brokered a deal with the United Nations and the West to allow Ukraine export this grain out to the world. So there was a deal brokered, and what happened yesterday and the past 2 days is a signal that Moscow is not willing to use to align with that deal. So
no, extend. Sorry, not use. That's wrong. Extend. The deal is over. The deal expired on the 19th. So I'm correcting you. The deal is expired.
No. It's not. It's not over. The deal is not over, Dr. Godwin. It's still on. But you see, because of this whole idea of trying to really inflict pain on the Ukrainians, so Russia is not minding any deal. It's not taking into recognition any deal. So it's reimposing this blockade.
I don't know why you try to impose your opinion as fact or as
but that's what we're monitoring. We're monitoring both sides.
But it's not
and
true. The talk is to extend the deal, not to bring any side. The deal is expired.
No,
it's to
take note.
extend
The deal is a 1 year. Is a 1 year deal, and
So
it's not over yet. Do you know the date of the deal?
Yes,
it's not over yet. So, but Russia is now bringing a different terms of business into it. It's stopping the flow of those.
What we get over here is that the deal is expired, and the last ship that was supposed to carry grain based on the deal left on the 19th of July, if I'm not mistaken.
So
on the 19th of July. So the deal is over. There's no other ship that can work on that deal.
Okay. Let's go to others now.
Does it mean they were just waiting for the deal to expire before they?
Obviously.
No, they walked out of the deal. Listen, they didn't expire. They potentially quitted from the deal. That's what Russia, Moscow did.
Let's hear from Sir George in Canada. Let's have a fresh voice now. Yes, Sir George.
What I'm asking, the question that I'm asking, if you want to remain relevant in the world affairs, hold on. Why is it that the slightest opportunity Russia has to mess things up, increasing the fuel prices, understanding the global famine that's going on around the world, that grain is needed for many nations to survive, why would they even go as far as doing such a thing? Putin has already been judged by the court. And also, there's a warrant for his arrest for all kinds of violations. Why is it that every opportunity that they have to inflict more pain on countries that doesn't even have anything to do with this war, they will take advantage of it? That's my question to Dr. Ibe, please.
Well, like I said, that's a wrong question because both sides threaten each other, and both sides are both sides are attacking each other along the Black Sea. So there's no innocent side or posing a question that makes it look like one side is innocent. There's a conflict.
If Russia
there's a conflict.
Hold on. Yeah. If Russia, listen to this, the world needs Ukrainian grain to survive, and not only that, because of risk. Currently, imminently, the world is in such a dire state when it comes to food shortages. Now, Russia knows this and they understand it. Why would they not even give opportunity to renew the deal?
Exactly.
Hold tight. Let me finish. Why would they not give the opportunity to renew the deal if they care about humankind and what is happening around the world?
Okay, let me answer the question. We can extend the question to say, first of all, the deal was struck July last year. As Mark pointed out, it's a 1 year deal, meaning that it expired 1 year. Logic, simple mathematics, expired July. If it's a 1 year deal, as he said, which aligns with the same information I've given that they expired on July 19th, since it's a 1 year deal. Now, moving aside from that, I don't understand why every time he makes his opinion look like as if they are facts. This is written. You can go to Reuters, you can go to npr.org. They all stated that the deal expired. It's expired. It was struck in July last year. Now, coming to your question, why we can expand the question. If there's a grain deal along the Black Sea, then why attack ships on the Black Sea? Why attack Crimea, Russian ports, or Ukraine port? You can pose the question to both sides. If both sides really care about the grain deal, why not keep all the agreements that's in the grain deal? If you say fertilizer and food or grain is important, why not keep the end of Russian deal? Are Russian grain not also important to the world? By the way, Russian grains are number 1 in the world, and maybe Ukraine number 2 or number 3. So if you're talking about the importance of grain, why don't you also extend it to Russian grain and ask the question so that it will be fair? Why are the West not, according to Russian accusation, respecting that deal to sell Russian grain so that the food prices can also be cheap for everybody? And then this will be a balanced question. So it's not putting responsibility or the ball in anybody's court, but rather allowing everybody to take responsibility for what's going on.
Are you saying, finally, excuse me, are you saying that Russia is not able to export their grain as it
Russia has claimed that the West, first of all, you're speaking about claims. I did not see the sales or the trades, and none of us here did see it. But I'm saying that the claims and the data that was published, Russia claims that the West did not respect their own end of the deal in terms of sales of Russian food and fertilizer over this 1 year period. So this is the accusation from the Russian side. So if, like I said, if we care about global prices, as you say, then we should ask both sides to respect all ends of the deal, allow grain to be sold so that in Africa we can have grains at a cheap price. Of course, I'm all for that. But putting the ball in one person's court, acting innocent, and allowing the person take responsibility alone, then that's, of course, that's not a fair position.
Okay.
So to cap it up, Dr. Shegun and Dr. Godwin, what matters in this whole discussion now is the United States nation says all this whole thing happening, withdrawal of tens of millions of tons of Ukrainian grain will cause worldwide shortage of food. So they are looking at the future, and this is why it concerns us here, and this is why we are putting this out. So there will be this very strong world food shortage as a result of this whole thing. So Russia needs to rethink. I mean, sometimes when you're doing something, you forget that the other hands are pointing back at you.
Yes,
so
Russia has said that they are willing to reconsider the grain deal and extend it if the West will keep to their own end in terms of sales of Russian food and fertilizer. So Russia has given an olive branch and the condition for extension of the deal. So yeah, and I also hope that, like you said, not only Russia rethink, Ukrainians also rethink and not attack Russian civilian vessels as they said they would. So now this will be a balanced recommendation. Don't advise only Russia. Advise Ukraine so that everybody can be advised.
Let's try and move it on. Dr. Ibe, let me ask you this question. Many people are asking, why is it that the BRICS are meeting and South Africa had to announce that Putin will not be there and is a summit that is heads of state Putin? What's going on?
One thing I've said it many times on our programs, the president's travel itinerary is classified. So anything can be announced in the public. Anything can be announced. You won't know until that day. But let's take, like I said, so many times presidents travel, they don't reveal their travel. And Opa, when they come and they've left, you see the media and everything. So there's a lot of precedence to this. But like I said, his trip is classified. Now, concerning what I believe, sorry, there's some noise. I hope it's not coming from my end. There's some discussion or idea that Russia doesn't want to put its friend in a difficult position. Because, well, Russia, South Africa, as you well know, has already issued diplomatic immunity in advance. And the political party has already welcomed Putin. But I believe that his decision to not go is probably connected, probably I'm speculating, probably connected to not putting his friend and ally in the BRICS in a difficult position, because whether you like it or not, it's not the first time it's happening. Sudanese president has been allowed in South Africa. Even someone who is not as powerful as in terms of geopolitics as Putin has been allowed in South Africa, even with an ICC warrant. And they give diplomatic. So it's not the first time South Africa is doing it. So it's not a matter of balls or courage. They have done it before and they can do it again and again. But it seems more that it's from the Russian side not to put the difficulty, the ally in a difficult position, at least in the media sphere in terms of announcement. But what we see on that is
what is that difficulty? What is that difficulty? Because there is a warrant for Putin's arrest, number one. Another political party in South Africa is actually pushing the ANC that they must arrest Putin if he arrives for that summit. So there's been a whole lot of, the point is, number one, from Russian part, it's been claimed that at this particular moment, Putin is afraid of leaving Russia because of what could happen. That's one. Number two, the warrant of arrest that has been given, which two opposition governments are fighting, that if Putin comes to Russia, that he must be arrested. So these are the, what I call, what you might call the confusion or trying to, I believe personally that based on everything that has been said, part of the reason is because of Prigozhin's insurrection in Russia. Putin is not comfortable leaving his seat in that place because anything could happen.
Wow.
And because they've already threatened, they claim
Mm.
that the US is actually planning to assassinate Putin. That's a claim, which is not factual.
Okay.
And anyway,
I'd like to.
the what we got as press people here in Europe is the statement from the South African government saying it's a mutual agreement that Putin will not be allowed to come. So we don't know what is mutual there, but he will not attend the summit, and this is his major. This is like he's one of the initiators of this organization. So not allowing him into his own platform is ridiculous. So we are looking at other things to it.
I want to answer your questions, and let me answer your question now.
It's not allowed to come. It's that word there, allowed to come. When
mutual agreement.
Mutual agreement.
That they're two different.
Putin must have explained his position and difficulty of living at this time with the fear and the pressure on South Africa to arrest him. That's what I believe that is going on.
Yeah, in answering Sir George, I like Sir George's position. It's even though a lot of speculation, but it's has some kind of logical reasoning. Now, yes, there was announced mutual agreement. I also gave my speculation on Russia respecting the pressure. Or now you ask the question, what is the difficulty? The difficulty, like you also answered yourself, is the pressure, the dilemma of South Africa being in the ICC and still having to violate it through their already initially issued diplomatic immunity. And then the minority parties, those parties you mentioned, they are minority parties. The ANC obviously wants Putin, and it doesn't matter what they say. They will just round them all up if they have to. After all, they have done it before for a less prominent figure, Sudanese president. And these guys who were backbiting, they were still the usual backbiter. They couldn't do nothing then, and they still cannot do nothing now. But the problem is, yeah, there was a mutual agreement. That is what was announced. We cannot know what exactly it was. But reading the lines concerning Wagner's, you mentioned the Prigozhin's behavior and all of that. Even I read on the Western publications that they don't even believe that there was an insurrection or that there was a mutiny. And they believe it was all part of the plan. Because right now we can see Wagner clearly armed, clearly redeployed. There's the fourth deployment of armed convoy to Belarus. The latest deployment is the border of Lithuania and Poland in Belarus, from what we get here in the media. So you can see a booming organization, and you can see Putin. Obviously, they met at the Kremlin, both Prigozhin and top commanders in the Wagner. So even the West doubts the idea of it being called a mutiny or a coup d'état. But obviously, it seems more plausible to me that it's respect for his ally and trying to not put them in a difficult position because of the dilemma presented. That's my take on it.
Okay. We'll just have to leave it there. And thank you for these discussions. They are very illuminating to know. Didi, at the end of the day, the African states that depend on the Ukraine grains will suffer. And I'm not praying for Putin to go to South Africa and be assassinated. Bidi, you think there could be a nuclear war if anybody in the West should assassinate or even arrest Putin? Or what will happen to this world without Putin?
Sorry, let me unmute BD. We're getting some. BD, could you try to say something?
It's still muted.
Yeah, I've sent an unmute request. Yes.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay.
You muted yourself. Try again.
You're muted, BD. Try to unmute.
No, it's okay. I know Africans will not do that, but they are trying to use them to do that, and that will be the beginning of World War III, which is even ongoing, but it's not physical. But I don't think that Putin is not coming to South Africa because of that, because nobody will actually arrest Putin in South Africa. The South African government will not allow that to happen in South Africa. I don't know. Like they said, it's a mutual agreement. They are yet to tell us what the
Or
mutual
could it be
agreement
that
is.
Putin is not feeling well? Putin is ill and nobody can tell us.
And
The doctor even will
what
not
me
say
I'm
so
seeing is
because
that
he's a medical doctor.
no. I don't think so. What I'm seeing is that Putin wouldn't want to leave his environment because of what is going on now between Russia and Ukraine. That's just what me I'm looking at. He wouldn't want to leave his environment. He just want to be on ground to monitor
But that
and watch
shows
what is
he's really
going on.
weak. Zelensky is traveling all over the place, and Putin cannot travel all over the place. That
He's
shows
the
a lot
one
of
My
fighting
weakness.
Zelensky. He's the one fighting Ukraine.
y-
Ukraine is not fighting him. You
my
understand?
Yeah, to answer this question about health, you're quite right. Obviously, we won't reveal medical this thing, but I want to say that when you look at Putin and you look at you hear his speeches, you see how he walks and everything, you can say definitely he looks more healthy than Biden, don't he? Doesn't he? So I think that if Biden is traveling around
That
the world,
is below
I
the
don't think
belt. Dr.
Putin
Amy, that
I
is
don't think
below
Putin.
the
No, I'm
belt.
saying it seems, and they
Are they of the
obviously
same age? Are they of the same
yeah,
age?
but the attacks on the age of a president is not something I like to do. It's just that you brought it up and you've seen this criticism from the Western media, not even from the
I
if it's
can't
coming from the
believe
Russian
this.
media, I would say okay. But from the Western media, they complain every time about the Senate, especially the Republicans. They're the ones who complain about this. But you don't see even the opposition in Russia complain about Putin's age or capability to lead. So when you bring this up, I want to point to you that there should be no double standard. If Biden can travel to Poland and fall off even after falling off the stage or before falling off the stage, then I believe that President Putin can travel wherever he wants.
But
Thank you.
it's American propaganda. It's a conservative, it's a Republican propaganda. You know that one. But it's
Him
okay.
falling off the stage is not propaganda. I watched the videos. It
Well,
was at a military event, by the way. There's no propaganda about that. And it's
yes.
sad to
No,
see him
no.
fall. I wish him well. I
You
wish him good
also
health. I wish him well. I don't, it's not my thing I respect old age. But when it's brought up, one has to say the fact the way it is, the way it's happening on both sides.
okay. We'll go on a short break. When we return, we'll revisit Emefiele. Why they still holding him down in Nigeria?
A year ago, I wrote a book titled The Final Solution, and I was trying to say to the rest of the world that there are challenges ahead. Now, a prophecy did come, and that prophecy is coming.
Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded. Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Schengen Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. The articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Schengen Story magazine's full editions, celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle, inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment, a better mind keeping you updated.
Hashtag Schengen Story magazine. Get Schengen Story magazine full editions.
Thank you for watching News Echoes on World Affairs. We want to focus a bit on Nigeria because of the challenges going on in that country. And we want to zero in on Emefiele's arrests and continuous detention. He should have been charged according to the Nigerian laws. These laws are thrown away, especially when you remember Nnamdi Kanu discharged by the court and yet being held. Sir George, you are very interested in Emefiele. The last time we spoke on Wednesday, can you tell us more?
Well, you see, when you have a department in Nigeria like DSS, who is supposed to be neutral, they're supposed to be bipartisan when it comes to functions and application of the law, begin to do things that are not constitutionally correct. On June 10th, Emefiele was suspended by Bola Ahmed Tinubu and then subsequently was arrested. But being held for almost 5 weeks in detention, not given the opportunity to be bailed out, not given the opportunity to be charged, even up until today, the charges against him is not even, everybody's presumed innocent until proven guilty by the court of law. But what DSS has been doing is being the court of law and also a secret agency in Nigeria that you can compare to CIA or FBI or the Britain or even Russian counterpart over there. So what we're seeing is the Naira redesign was done through Emefiele, but it was not Emefiele's idea to redesign or recolor the Naira. It was the former president Muhammad Buhari who ordered such because he wanted to stop Tinubu. But now the man that is being used is now, facing the consequences of what happened in the past. If the man has been charged to court, give him opportunity to be bailed out so he can prepare his case from outside. Being held unnecessarily is unconstitutional according to Nigerian constitution and is actually a violation of his human rights. But what we're seeing here is also a pseudo-military government perpetrating itself as a democracy. That is not fair.
Yeah, Massive Mark, what is this link between Alhaji Gora of Agege and Emefiele? We just don't want to go with the internet. What exactly is going on? Is it true that he deposited 130 billion naira in his wife's account and he has billions of naira? What is the connection here?
Yes, sorry that like dual audio coming to my end here. Uh, can you say that again, Dr. Shego? I'm sorry to say.
I was just wondering why they arrested the head of the Hausas community in Lagos and connected it to a Emefiele, knowing fully well that Sanwo-Olu, the governor, will go and solicit for help for the Hausa community votes in Lagos, so that he's not anti-APC, he's not anti-Tinubu. So why is he being held and linked to Emefiele?
Yeah, yes, Dr. Shagun, there's so much underground occurrences going on in Nigeria, and the funny thing is, the real perpetrators of much of the problem we are facing are not held accountable. They are not the ones that are picking up. You and I know that, like George said, Emefiele is a government worker, and he takes orders also from the presidency. And right there in the presidency during the Buhari's time, there were these so-called cartel that was giving Emefiele instruction. Now, some of this cartel also involved some retired general. Now, the man in that part of Lagos, Agege, Danjuma, somehow is connected to all of this. There are informations that even Emefiele is backing up IPOB, the Biafran IPOB. And but you see, there are major big guns that are escaping this whole thing. And they are just picking these weaker ones, taking these ones they can apprehend. But if they really want to do the thorough job, if DSS, EFCC, and all of these security arms want to do a good job, there are big guns that should be apprehended on that money coloring situation we had last year. Emefiele is a stooge, but funny enough, he's the one in their captivity. So okay. This is what we're seeing. Remember Buhari's brother? There's his brother there. That he's now on the run. He's in the UK, and these are the people that initiated that whole Naira coloring thing. Thank you, sir.
Biddy, what are we hearing on the ground? We can't hear you.
Please unmute yourself.
The Hausa leader in Lagos. Hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yes.
So what is happening with the Hausa leader in Agege is actually a power tussle. The man is to Tinubu government. But you know what this government is trying to do? They want to weaken every person with subdue him. They are trying to subdue him. That's actually what they are trying to do, because they know he has a lot of influence. So we don't want such rival power in Lagos. Are you still hearing me? Because I don't understand.
Yes, very well. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yes.
They don't want such big rival power in Lagos. So that's why I'm speaking. The Emefiele worked on order. If you actually want to sort out Emefiele problem, Buhari should be invited for questioning. We are not saying you should arrest him, because we know that you will not arrest him. Buhari was the one who gave Emefiele order, and Emefiele acted on the order of his principal. Now, as Tinubu is giving orders to his people, and they started to act on whatever order he gave to them, and that was actually what Emefiele did. Now, Emefiele councils have requested that Emefiele should be released, and what the DSS did, they called them IPOB members. They even threatened to label them terrorists, and that's actually what is happening. And you know, the funniest thing about this DSS thing, that they can get so ridiculed that they went to their Twitter page and throwing panthers with the Emefiele councils, and that is not good coming from a whole secret security services of a nation. coming to Twitter to, trade pantas, trade words. That's not so good with them. And the telling MFL, it's not the right thing. Nigerian government know what they're supposed to do, but they have refused what they're supposed to do, and they're doing what. Let me tell you, MFL issue will soon die off. They're not going to probe him. They're just doing that, to distract Nigerians. If they really want to do what they're supposed to do, they know what they're supposed to do, but they are not going to do it. Just watch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Within a short time, this
Okay.
MFL issue will die off.
Dr. Ebe, do you
They're
agree
just
with
doing
that?
it to
They're
make
just
it look like they
distracting
are
us.
working.
Because we were told
I have-
last month that Emefiele has a load of dossier, and they dare not charge him to court. After a while, everybody will forget about him and life will continue. Is that what they're doing?
BD has spoken excellently well, and I have no what do I say, option or choice but to fully agree with her. Now, but I want to add some issue because she said most of what have been on my mind, but I want to add some additional information. We all know who made the order for the currency, and we all know why it was made. We've talked about it so many times on this program and the possible potential implications, irrespective of the very poor execution. Now, the fact that Emefiele has not mentioned Buhari once in his confession also shows that he understands every single thing. Every single thing that is going on is logical. It is going on the way it would go on in the Nigerian setting. Now, one point of correction I want to make is that I guess what BD said is that if things go the way they're supposed to go, the president is not the principal of the CBN. They are supposed to be independent of each other, and that is the reason why they are not under the government officially. So, but the fact that the CBN governor has to take orders or even implement the wish of the president, irrespective of what he thinks about it, says a lot about the independent nature of the CBN. Now, what BD has said about everything dying down to, I also fully agree with it. In this kind of situation, the logical thing to do is to find out one thing, not who made the order, why it was done. Everybody knows this. Are you telling me this are not? Everybody knows this. What they are only trying to find out is what you call the fifth column. The fifth column. There are people in your party who say they are in your party, but they are not really in your party. There are people infiltrated all over that who have also helped to make this to try to make this a success, but they only do not come out in the public. You want to know everybody who are not loyal to you and who were involved both in the decision-making process and the execution of this plan. Once all that information is gotten, then the logical next step is to release him and forget about the case. And everything is going on exactly logical. Then the last thing I want to add, sorry, before you come in, is the power of the VP. Shetima is no Osinbanjo, with all due respect to both of them. He has much more influence and much more say in what goes on. It's very easy if you have a problem with an Hausa person, it's very easy to contact Shetima, and definitely that message will pass across and he will be free. So once again, there's no, it's just to find out as much information as possible and to show that there's a new boss in town. That's all.
Yeah, I don't know why the Hausas are not a threat to Lagosians. In my own opinion, definitely the Lagosians see the Igbos as a threat because they are thriving in their business and buying choice places. But I don't see the Hausas in that light, except that this man has made himself a juggernaut in Agege. All the Hausas submit to him. And so why will he? I think there are more things that we need to know why they are holding this man down. They have not told us, and they've not charged Emefiele.
Dr. Johnson.
Yes, sir.
See, Nigerian system is a very complicated system. What we are looking at right now, okay, look at what BD was talking about. Why the DSS will come out as an independent security agency to start attacking a lawyer who gathered other lawyers to come and fight against the illegal detention of Emefiele. You could, if you hear the type of words coming out of this foolish person, it is beyond comprehension. An unacceptable language, trying to put Biafra, IPOB, calling him a judge and bail lawyer. Can you imagine such nonsense? An arrant stupidity coming from a government official like that we can compare to CIA or FBI, that tells you how deplorable and how sorry our country has fallen down to. That okay, such language will be coming from him. Are you fighting against who? Are you the courthouse? Your DSS? You turn over the situation to the law executioners of the law.
Yes. What happened there was the handlers of that Twitter forgot himself. That was a tweet that was meant to go to his own his personal tweet to somebody, and somehow maybe nature wanted us to see.
Don't bring such talk here. Don't even buy that. We have a Nigerian. We are used to that. Our government used to lying. After making a mistake, they come and say, "Oh, my Twitter account was hacked. My Facebook account was hacked."
No. It wasn't hacked. It's not saying it was hacked.
Their system.
It wasn't saying it was hacked. What happened was there was supposed to be a switch. Some people run 3, 4, 5 accounts at the same time. So this was meant to go as a personal tweet on his own page, but he mistakenly now put it out on the DSS page, and the thing went out viral. So I'm not copying for him, but what I'm saying is, if you read the lines, you will see that it was meant to go to somebody. But thank God, yes, thank God. Listen, thank God it came out. So we now know, like George is saying, how these officials are working with biases and one-sided judgment and all that. So that was what happened on that tweet case. That's right up.
That takes us to, why do we run a government in the dark? Everything is in the dark. Emefiele has been arrested. We're not hearing anything about it. Kyari, we're not hearing anything about. Everything is in the dark, and we know that darkness doesn't give the best at all. Bidi, please tell us again. Petrol still rising. Petrol price still rising in Lagos and in Nigeria. Yes,
of course, it's still rising. Were you expecting it to come down?
Yes, people said it will soon come down.
It's still rising. Were you expecting it to come down?
Yes, some people were expecting it to come down.
Since you were a child in Nigeria, I don't know when. Nothing comes down in Nigeria. Things keep going up. Since I was born, nothing has ever come down. Things keep going up. See, the Nigerian government target is one. Now,
that's some technical
Nigerian government.
Yeah. Okay. We'll come back to you.
I'm not even talking about treating us as citizens. They don't treat us as human beings.
It's not good.
Now, they've got to rent people.
Okay.
Didi will come back to you. There's issue with network.
That nothing comes down. So this naira is now £1 to I think, yes, as of yesterday, London was saying £1 to 1111. I'm sure today it must have gone to 1120. But yesterday it was 1111. That is there. So somebody has devalued naira, but they said it's not devalued. Where will this land us to? According to BD, it will never be better, and it will be going up, which means we are getting weaker and weaker in economics. Let me throw it open. Who wants to handle this one?
Yeah, I can go in. A slight correction to what BD said. Actually, prices of gasoline fluctuate. They go up, they go down. But the general trend, since when there's a major shift in policy, it can rise significantly beyond the corridor of fluctuation or inflation. Now, the we don't expect fuel to reduce to 300 or 400 as it was when in the presence of fuel subsidy, obviously, because now it seemed to be closer. I don't say exactly, but closer to market economy. So it will more likely fluctuate according to both demand, supply, and a little bit of speculation on the parts of the fuel suppliers and sellers. So it's not abnormal to expect the price to fall after some speculation, but not significantly, not to the level of 300, 400. But yeah, it could fall slightly. But can it always increase and increase? Well, this depends on so many things, including the global oil prices. Because now
How
we do
about the
not
value
have
of
that.
naira?
The value of naira depends on the global oil. The value of naira affects the price of fuel because the global price is converted to naira. Obviously, will affect the
That's
price
the
of the
point we're
fuel.
making here in England. Let me just tell you, I was discussing with a friend yesterday, and the man was in a cargo business. He said cargo business stopped since the downfall of naira because nobody could determine what how much they would do business anymore. So nobody is
Yes,
doing business with
but
Nigeria right now
that is
because
the problem.
yeah.
That is the problem, not because of the falling value of the naira or because of just the rising price of the petrol, but because of the unpredictability of the economy. It's
No,
worse than
someone
even
should
the
tell us whether the naira has been devalued or not. Sir George, has the naira been devalued? Tinubu administration should just be able to tell us instead of saying they are floating the naira.
They will not be able to because of the secrecy. And you know one thing though, Nigerians are deemed to be the most intelligent beings on the planet Earth today. Everybody from all other countries are saying it. But professing ourselves to be wise, we have become the worst fools ever. That's what we are seeing. Because now, the market economy that we're talking about and all the forces, economical forces that are supposed to either derail or move up or move down, we want to attach ourselves to it. But yet there are other hidden forces that are making decisions for us that they affect the public that is not made public, where those decisions are coming. So what we are looking at right now, if you go to Britain, if you go to Italy, if you go to Russia, if you go to all these other countries, there are forces that are open to everybody. When the inflation is going higher, decisions are made in order to reduce it. It affects the people, but they do understand. But in case of Nigeria, nothing is done openly. Why is that? Number one, because the smoke of the military rule is still working with us. Yeah, we have a shambolic democracy, where one individual can hijack the whole entire system and then sit on it and refuses to do anything that is tangible that will help the people. But they want to throw out, conversations out there as if they are trying to, they really care. The point we're making is if we want to get involved in the systems that are working around the world, we must allow our system to go through the same channel so that when it goes up, it goes up. What PD is saying is so natural in Nigeria that when Naira is devalued and the traders are trading, they will never reduce the price because it keeps going up and up and up and up unless there is a revolution, economic revolution in Nigeria that will balance the equation. That's the only time it will work. But as it is
Massive
right
mark.
now, it's not going to work.
Massive mark. It
So it
appears
was
that
it was the value. Sorry to just answer your question because you didn't pose that direct question. You didn't ask me did the CBN devalue. If in that case, then we can look at the announced rate. As at today, the 21st, it was devalued a little bit. But if we compare the 20th to the 19th, then there was not a devaluation, rather there was increase in the value of the naira. But that's as at 20th to 19th, there was almost 2% increase in the valuation of the naira, and then it's been devalued again. So these things are is still within the corridor of change of naira. I don't think it's this,
But you
beyond.
see, the thing is,
Can we
Dr.
talk
Shagun,
about
sorry,
something that just
we
came up today?
we
Something just
we
came up
we,
today.
we
Okay, hold on, Mark. Yes, Biddies, what came up today?
Lagos ports caught fire today, and so many goods cargoes were burnt. The Tinkan entrance sea in Tinkan Island got burnt this early morning, and so many things got burnt. And you will know that this Lagos port is the only working port in Nigeria today. And if this thing is happening, and with what is already happening in Nigeria, I don't know what is going to happen to Nigerians.
Oh,
I don't
thank you for that
understand.
information. Mark, what were you about to say?
yes, but thank you, BD, for the update. So Lagos Port is on fire. Viewers, you've had that from on ground coordinator. Dr. Shagun, what I want to say is a lot of time um, the the intelligent ones among us, Nigerians, we say things intelligently. But you see, at the end of it, there are more numbers of people that are not intelligent that this whole thing that's happening affects the most. Severe pain they go through when there is naira this, naira that, because the intelligent ones keep looking at things on the superficial way, and most times we want to be politically correct, like they say. So we just keep saying all of these things, but on the ground, Dr. Shagun, people are suffering, people are hungry, people are dying. There is sickness, there is squalor, there is disease, there is all manner of inhuman treatment going on. So we don't want to know naira this, naira that. What we want to know, what we want is our people should at least be alleviated. Let them come off to a level and have some form of living. I mean, some form, some small thing. So the intelligent ones, we keep saying all of these things, talking, and these people are suffering, Dr. Shagun.
Well,
I
not
know the
until
amount of
all
calls I
Nigerians
get,
have an
people
understanding
crying.
that their welfare
Dr.
is
Shegun,
attached directly to their political option.
Dr. Shegun, Dr. Shegun, please, Dr. Shegun, please, you put that in Nigeria. I want people to talk about this situation. Every time APC government have the attitude of renting crowd to come and protest in support of their evil policies. Now they've rented crowd to come and support the removal of subsidy. Please, can you people talk about it in few minutes? Each of every one of you,
We
please.
don't have the few
Talk
minutes.
about it.
We have seconds. We have seconds, Bidi.
Okay, I
Yes,
tried to.
Dr. Abe, you just showed us a graph.
Yeah, I tried
Yes.
to show the weighted average of. I'm trying to show the
You can say
weighted
something.
average of
Second.
the naira devaluation, so that my words are. As you can see, there was a significant rise after we began to the cancellation of fuel subsidy and other things, and then we can see
Oh,
along the corridor
I
of
think
inflation.
he touched
So,
something.
so I just wanted
Anyway,
to show you
he was trying
the.
to show us some practical.
Sir George, can you say something on what I just said now? Sir George, please, can you say something on
Yes.
that?
The point is this: Nigeria has been called the people that suffer and smile, but finally, there is no smiling anymore. Nigerians are suffering and crying. And the funniest part of this is that individuals are dying in their homes. Hunger, disease, and all kinds of things. As a matter of fact, because of hopelessness and despondency in that country, many are dropping dead. People are being buried without being counted as part of the consequences of decisions being made by the governmental officials. So that's what we are seeing. When people die in the villages or die in their house, or somebody, okay, the port is
Well, I'm
currently
afraid that's
abandoned.
how far we can go. We
That's
had
the problem
seconds.
in our country.
Sergio, thank you for that contribution. That's how far we'll go today. It's my job to just thank everybody in Milan, in Moscow, in Toronto, in Lagos. And until Wednesday, when we bring you the latest, this is News Echo saying goodbye.
Good.